Good morning, everybody. I wanted to give you an update, and of course, I want to do my morning shout out. My morning shout out this morning is going to the quarterling. He brings us all the headlines in a very entertaining way, and he always tries to. Sorry, I have something on my. There we go. Coffee. Anyway, he always tries to make sure that he has his facts straight. And if he makes a mistake, he comes out and owns it, just like I do, which I like. Now, I'm going to say this, okay? When it comes to the Karmelo Anthony case, okay? To me, it has nothing to do with anything about looks. What the boy looks like, what the other boy looked like. I don't care. It's about right versus wrong. Legal versus non-legal. Law versus lawlessness. Okay? That's what it is about for me. Now, in this instance, none of us were there. Only the people at that school that were at the school and Karmelo himself knows what truly, truly happened. And I'm sure it will come out during court. All of it. And if by any chance this young man is found innocent, I personally will come up and I will say, I am sorry, I was wrong. I feel that you were wronged and I apologize. If he were to be found innocent. Now, if he were to be found guilty, do you think the Anthony family will, if he's found guilty, do you think they're going to come out and apologize to America? No, probably not. They'll play the victim and everybody will march and it'll be the summer of love all over again. It'll be George Floyd all over again. Now, I'm going to read you this from Sarah Fields. Sarah Fields at Sarah is censored. That's the page. Sarah is censored. At Sarah is censored. All right. Confirmed. Documents provided by East Baton Rouge City Courthouse confirmed that Drew Anthony, father of Karmelo Anthony, has an active warrant for his arrest. Basically, it's a traffic ticket that he failed to appear for. Because it says he failed to appear for a criminal traffic violation for improper equipment. And according to the document, his license was forfeited. This means that he either lied to the state of Texas about ever having a driver's license in another state, or is he currently driving without a license? Okay. And certainly illegal, but not like something that's crazy criminal, like, you know. Anyway, let's get to the quarterling. Shout out to the quarterling for bringing today's
courthouse now confirmed that Drew Anthony, Karmelo Anthony's father, has an active warrant for his arrest in Louisiana. Maybe that's why he moved to Texas. Piscatios.
Which it doesn't. I mean,
he also failed to appear for a criminal traffic violation.
Not that I'm saying you shouldn't appear to courts, because you certainly should, or this could happen. It's a bench warrant.
I don't know. It's a pretty weak crime, but I suspect Louisiana may like to know that Drew Anthony, who has an active warrant for his arrest, is in Frisco, Texas right now. They could just go get him.
They're not going to waste the resources to go get him over a traffic violation. Even if it is driving without a license, it's still.
His license was also forfeited. This means that he either lied to the state of Texas about ever having a driver's license in another state, or he is currently driving without.
Oh, and his prior criminal record also shows multiple counts of theft. So he's got sticky fingers, allegedly.
Look, we've all had them. Everyone's had a stupid speeding ticket or, whatever. All right? But I will say, it takes an absolute moron not to show up for your court date and end up having an arrest warrant. over, let's see here. You know, by the way, his prior
All right, let's get to his prior criminal.
$154 ticket.
All right, that's just basically traffic tickets.
That the guy's not exactly a responsible individual. He also has
He's not responsible. That's what it proves.
driver's license recall.
All right, so let's skip ahead a little bit.
Speeding, don't care about that.
All right,
He's got
so
charges for theft between $500 and $1,500, and 2 other theft charges that don't seem to be, may have been all related to this one.
so we had 3 charges of theft and traffic.
That's not very good.
I mean,
Here's, of course,
I'm not saying it's perfect, but it certainly is, and it's against the law. Don't steal, especially, come on. And yet, now they're gonna say that that's the reason Karmelo, I guess, I don't know. But, oops, I hit the wrong button. My finger slipped and I hit the button. Sorry, guys. But the point is I don't even know why they're bringing this up. Just to show the character of his father, I guess. Me personally, I don't consider that a factor. To me, that's a non-factor. How he was raised, I guess, is a factor when it comes to his behavior and his mental state and things like that.
I don't know that answer. I mean,
But I'm not a lawyer. And now they've hired this fancy schmancy lawyer to try to get him off. But let's skip ahead to where he says that. I
in
think.
charge of the Metcalf case. This is very concerning.
All right, now this part. Karmelo Anthony has retained another attorney in addition to Mike Howard. New attorney worked with the DA in charge of the Metcalf case, which is interesting. According to a response to an open record request I sent to Collin County District Clerk, this is from Sarah Fields, Toby Shook from the Shook and Gutler law firm has been retained by the Anthony family. Hiring multiple attorneys will significantly increase legal costs. Bill Werschke, the first chair DA in the Metcalf case, in a rather strange twist of the story, Toby Shook and Bill Werschke worked together in the past when Werschke was appointed, and I'm sorry if I'm saying his name wrong, as a special prosecutor for Kaufman, Texas prosecutor murders, which received national attention. Their prosecution resulted in the conviction and sentencing of Eric Williams. Okay, so he hired a fancy schmancy lawyer who basically worked with the DA. So he knows what the DA is like. That's what the point is that this guy now knows how this DA is, how he works, you know, things like that. Basically, he knows all his moves in advance, basically. There'll be no surprises. And of course, I don't think it matters in the end when it comes to the law. The law is pretty straightforward when it comes to certain things. I mean, I could be wrong. Like I said, to me, the case seems pretty open and shut. But that's just me. All right, so Chad Elsey, I don't know who he is. He's at jury verdicts. He had said, caution, I know Toby Shook pretty well. He's probably the smartest defense counsel I've ever met in my 20 plus years of practice. Shook mostly tries high-profile blue-collar cases for big-money clients. Possibly the best player in the game. Okay, so, and he says he's way more talented than the Collin County DAs, many of whom I know. They know this too, and they fear him. Now, that's just one person's opinion. Okay. Will it help get Karmelo off of the charge? Maybe. Maybe Austin will get justice. Maybe Austin won't get justice. All I know is at the end of the day, that young man has to live with himself. Now, granted, none of us know, and again, shout out to the quarterling. None of us truly know what is the actual deal when it comes to what actually happened. We can guess, we can surmise by testimonies that are given by people and stuff like that, but we won't really know until the actual court date comes out next June or July, whatever it was. Let's get back to the video.
They're going to be going back to the Give, Send, Go. By the way, the person that's doing, I'm going to leave this.
Oh, by the way, yeah, they're asking for more money as well to pay for this because, hey, they need somebody to pay for these fancy lawyers, so why not you supporters of Karmelo Anthony?
For slander and intimidation and all this kind of
Oh,
stuff.
and be warned, you're never going to get that money back. Because if you do, even if he gets free, that'll be great for him, but you'll be broke.
$2,500 of my own money. She's about halfway to her goal. So make sure you go to givesendgo.com/Sarah Fields. I'll leave that link in the description too. And, back her because I want to remind you what's great about her case before I get to the Charleston White video.
I want to read her Give, Send, Go because this poor woman, Sarah Fields, is just reporting the facts. She's not reporting her opinion. She's not even reporting opinions of people online. She's just reporting the facts of the case. And she has been harassed by the Anthony family, by Drew Anthony. She has been harassed by not only him, but now his team. She has been doxxed. All this crazy stuff. Now, mind you, she is a mom who is 8 months pregnant, okay? And they're harassing her for just being a reporter and doing her job, okay? So that should tell you something right there. Now, she put up a Give, Send, Go, and this is why. I believe, this is her words, I believe it is long past time for race-baiting grifters to face consequences of their words. Since the beginning of April, I have reported on the Anthony case with accuracy and detailed precision, supported by court documents, open records responses through research. But because of this, activists and Karmelo Anthony defenders have done everything they can to silence the truth. These influencers have chosen to support Karmelo based solely on the color of his, while attempting to intimidate me and those who reveal the truth about the Austin Metcalf, you know what. I can't say because of Google and guidelines, but there's that. And she's right. Why are people harassing her? If your son, Mr. Anthony, are so innocent, if your son is so innocent, why are you constantly afraid of what Sarah Fields is saying if it's the truth? Because it is the truth. She backs everything up she says, backs it up with documentation, backs it up with facts, backs it up with proof. She has the receipts, and yet they still harass her. If you're so afraid of the truth coming out, then there must be a reason.
Very interesting stuff that will likely.
And so far, her goal is $25,000, and she's raised $13,279. I'm gonna go take care of my little thing right now, here in a minute, after I'm done with my post, because everybody should, to help this poor woman now that she's gotten doxxed for no reason but doing her job, which is absolutely ridiculous. What is with the doxing? What exactly are you trying to approve by that? Because not only do you put her at risk, but you put her child at risk and her family at risk. For what reason? Just because you don't like the truth?
Charleston White says that the video of Karmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf altercation will be released very soon.
I don't know if I believe that. Because why would they now release it instead of during court? Why haven't they released it thus far? It doesn't make sense to me. I don't believe it. I wouldn't believe everything Charleston White says. Just saying. Because we know he was
interesting pivot in tone here.
paid.
Is this real life? Is he really innocent? Boy gone for life. Box cutter classes.
I mean, you gotta look at. Oh yeah, I wanna pause this so we can put that on so you can actually read it because he talks so low.
I find it unlikely that they're gonna if they're gonna release that grainy video that doesn't show anything. I don't know. We'll have to report on that, obviously, but
I don't think they're gonna actually release it.
By the way, if you're so sure he's innocent, then why are you paying for his boxing classes?
That is probably true because we heard one child be interviewed. One. I'm sure there was lots more, but they didn't air them, especially after the one girl said what she said, because I don't think she said what they thought that she would be saying, because she was a student from Karmelo Anthony's school, not from Austin Metcalf's school, because the two boys went to two different schools. So she's a girl that knew Karmelo, not Austin. And she said, her exact words were, wow, I was shocked because, I mean, although he's known for fighting and getting in fights, this is a whole next level type of thing. This is to take it to a different level. He's known for fights. That's not what you guys are saying, that he's such an innocent kid, that he's never done anything wrong. He's such a good kid. He's a straight A student. Really? But I do believe that the children were told not to speak about the case. Why, I don't know, but
I disagree with that. I think, how would he know that? Why would these kids, by the way, the idea that these kids aren't speaking because it would bode well for Karmelo is insane.
yeah, that I don't necessarily believe. Because the one girl who gave her testimony, that didn't look good for Karmelo. So if they continue to talk to kids from his school and they say all similar things, it doesn't look good. That's why they haven't been talking to the kids, I think. Although, I don't know.
They're not speaking because they've been told not to. Their cell phones have been seized. There's going to be cell phone footage of this fight. I find it almost impossible to believe there won't be.
Oh yeah, there'll definitely be cell phone footage of the fight. Some kid did this. And I'm going to say, I'm sorry, Mr. Charleston White talks super duper fast. And he's very hard to understand sometimes. So just bear with it. Read the caps if you need. Read the captions if you need to. And I am sorry. Right. If he thinks he's so innocent, because you got to remember that Charleston White came out originally and condemned Karmelo Anthony. He said no matter what the situation was, there is no reason why that should have went down like that. There's no conflict resolution between kids anymore and all this other stuff. He actually came out at first with what the case should have been about. Conflict resolution. But then he got paid. And his story flipped. So, Mr. Charleston White, number one, if you think Karmelo is so innocent, why are you paying for him to have self-defense fighting? With a boxing, supposedly the best boxing coach in all of Texas. Personally, I would have told him to get a wrestling coach, not a boxing coach, but that's me. But if you think, the main point is if you think he's so innocent, why are you getting him self-defense training? And get this out your head. What does that mean? Get the anger out. Get all the unresolved tension and stuff out to work out that energy in a better way, which is a good idea. I'm not saying that's not, because that's actually a very good idea for every young man to have something like that in his life. But you're telling us in one breath that Karmelo's such a good kid that he couldn't possibly have done this, that it was self-defense. But in the second breath, you're telling us that he needs a boxing coach to keep his anger in check. So which is it? Is he a good kid, or if he's so angry that he can snap in a moment's notice that he needs a boxing coach to get that anger out? And so, why do we care if he's studying law? None of that matters. Yeah, I'm sure he's studying lots. He's got nothing but free time since he's got to stay inside. But what the heck does him being a student of law have to do with anything? It doesn't matter to us. What matters to us is Austin Metcalf is with his maker now. And somebody has to pay for that. And that somebody should be, if he's found guilty, Karmelo Anthony. If he's found guilty. If he's found innocent, then yes, by all means, get him a boxing coach. Have him work out that extra aggression and anger to the boxing coach. Ay, ay, ay.
By the way, I bet she's being paid to promote that new Jim Crow book. Just saying.
Oh, he's definitely being paid to do everything that he's doing.
Keeps mentioning that. I doubt it. I doubt it. I bet she's playing video games.
He's playing video games. He's not reading. How many 18-year-olds do you know that sit down and read? Seriously. I have a 21-year-old. And I can tell you, if I gave my kid a book, even if my kid was under house arrest, if I gave my kid a book, do you think my kid's going to read that book, or is my kid going to play his PS5 system? He ain't reading. He's playing video games. They're telling you he's reading, but he's not.
Too late. I mean, he's going to prison. He took another kid's life. Perhaps those books would have came in handy 10 years ago, Charles.
He'll need those books for when he's on the inside, maybe, to keep company, but...
See, so let me just keep playing funny man. He is a character. I don't know if Drew Anthony is paying him.
I would have to say yes. He's gotten a promise. If he's not being paid, he's gotten a promise of a big payday. Because I'm sorry, there's no way he flipped that quick with only one or two conversations with this young man. Even if he talked to his daddy, even if he talked to Karmelo himself, you don't flip that quick on your convictions unless somebody took care of you.
But,
And one thing he said that interested me before. He made the comment, I'm going to be down there puppet mastering these puppets. Basically, he's telling them how to get their son off of this charge. Even if he knows he's guilty, allegedly.
If Sarah reaches her goal, we're going to find out. And that's going to come up at the trial, and that's going to look bad when it comes to the judge deciding his final sentencing. I hope you were informed by this video. Please do remember.
And again, shout out to the quarterling. Check him out on YouTube. Send him the love. Show him the like. Show him the love. Like and subscribe. And don't forget, like and subscribe here too. But yeah, this whole situation with the Karmelo Anthony has gotten way out of control. Seriously. This young man did something that was tragic. He made a mistake. I've been to a high school when picking up my child or when going to my child's school for an event or whatever. The high school boys are so crazy when it comes to their hormone levels and their testosterone and everything else that they react. When I remember when my daughter was going to school and she was in high school, there were altercations at that school every damn day. Every day. Boys do not know how to control their emotions when they're that age. So yes, Karmelo Anthony reacted in a situation, and he didn't think, he didn't show any kind of anything, he just reacted. And he made a terrible, tragic choice. Now, the people in his life have two options. Option A is to continue the path they're going on. Their son will probably end up going to prison for life. Because instead of teaching him right from wrong and telling him to have remorse for what you've done and to show that family remorse for their son being lost, no, they've made the Metcalfs out to be these vile, evil people, made Austin out to be this vile, evil kid, and made their son look like this innocent child that's done nothing ever wrong, when we all know that's not true. So they're basically gaslighting us, or trying to gaslight us into believing that this kid is innocent of doing any wrong. And that's, I'm sure, not the case. I'm not positive because I'm not a lawyer. And like I said, it'll all come out during the trial. Everything that everybody is saying will come out during the trial. And it'll get known whether it's right, wrong, or otherwise. Because the one thing that everybody seems to be forgetting is at the end of the day, there are laws. And at the end of the day, the judge and the DA are the ones who decide. I mean, yeah, he'll have a jury of his peers, but once the jury reaches their verdict, guess who decides the length of time Mr. Anthony will face? And everything you're doing right now is pretty much guaranteeing that he is going to face life because he has zero remorse. I have yet to see the Anthony put out a statement to the Metcalf family, and I could be wrong. They might have done this without my knowledge, but put out any kind of thing to the Metcalf family, expressing their sorrow and grief to them over the loss of their son. Even if you think your son is innocent due to self-defense, they still lost their son. They still lost a brother. They still lost a friend and someone they love and care for. And instead of showing any kind of remorse for a life lost, you play the victim and cry boo-hoo for us. Give us money. Not exactly the way I would handle it myself, personally. Just saying. But, you know, some parents handle things differently, I guess. But please keep in mind that your son has his whole life ahead of him. Austin Metcalf does not. Your son still can make mistakes, grow from those mistakes, learn from those mistakes, and still have a full and active life. Austin Metcalf cannot. Maybe as a mother, you should remember that and realize what Megan Metcalf is going through. As a mother who just had to bury her son. maybe show a little empathy towards that woman. Instead of having your supporters dox her, harass her, and make her feel horrible by saying all these horrible things about her son that have been proven false. Now, I'm not saying the Anthony family specifically is doing it, but they know it's being done, and they have yet to come out and make a statement against that behavior. That's what I mean. Now, I will tell you this. The court date is not set until, I think, June 1st or July 1st. I think it was June 1st of 2026. So next summer. They're making us wait a whole year before they're going to try this kid. And I understand that they have to put together the case, and the DA has to put together witness statements and witnesses and blah, 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 blah. And the Anthony family does too. I get all of that. I do. And we're probably going to hear a lot more about this case between now and then. But at the end of the day, there's one thing that matters. The law. Do we really want kids, anytime somebody says something that upsets them, instead of learning how to deal with that anger and that emotion, they just react? Do we really want a bunch of kids running around just reacting? Because that doesn't sound like a life I want to live. I'm just saying. Anyway, whatever the outcome, I hope God blesses everybody involved, and I hope everybody that is involved between the Metcalf family and the Anthony family, I hope they find peace with the Lord, because God is watching. And you might not think he is, because he's got to watch everybody in the whole world, but guess what? God is watching. And God says a couple of things. Well, it states in the Bible a couple things. First, judge not, lest ye be judged. So I don't judge anybody. I try not to. And if I do, I apologize generally. And the other thing is, his commandments. He's real funny about them being broken. So maybe let's concentrate on not breaking his commandments, people. Okay? Maybe pick up a Bible and read it. Especially the chapter concerning Revelations. And I'll tell you why. Because everything that God has said in the Bible, in Revelations, has been coming true. I'm not saying the end times are coming. I'm just saying y'all are pushing us that way, because God is only going to put up with so much before he gets angry and vengeful. And then, y'all, all this crazy weather that we've been having, snow in Saudi Arabia. Never ever snowed in Saudi Arabia, I heard, until recently, until this past winter. Snow in the desert. We're having summer-like days in the winter. Floods, hurricanes, tornadoes, earthquakes, volcano eruptions. And now we're hearing strange noises coming from the earth. And people are saying the sky's falling. I mean, come on. How many clues do you need before you realize that God's trying to give us some signs to stop before it's too late? Those are his warning signs. He's going, guys, look over here. Pay attention. And nobody's doing it. So I guess we'll see what happens. Because it's definitely going to be an interesting case. Anyway, guys, that's it for now. That's all for the Metcalf and Austin and Karmelo Anthony and the Anthony family for today. But I hope everybody has a wonderful day. And remember, be kind to one another. Life's too short for all this nonsense. Oh, and I am still working on the pillow blanket, see? I'm making that for my kid. He loves a weighted blanket, so I'm making him a pillowed weighted blanket. I'm going to try anyway, see what happens. Anyway, when it's done, I'll show you guys. But it's going to take a while, so we'll see what happens. Anyway, guys, I hope everybody has a wonderful day. Don't forget, like and subscribe. I want to say thank you to my new subscribers. Thank you for joining me. And I promise we're going to have lots and lots of fun throughout this whole experience. So keep liking, keep subscribing, and I'll catch you guys on the flip. Remember, God loves you, and so do I.